Hey everyone, I'm Kelsey,
And I'm Savannah,
and you're listening to A Little Limb Different podcast.
where we are discussing all things limb difference.
We know that growing up with a limb difference can be a struggle, so we're here to help.
So join us as we cover all the hard topics for limb different girls living in a two-handed world.
Hey, it's Kelsey. I just wanted to come on here and let you guys know that there are a few audio glitches throughout the podcast. We're so sorry about that. I don't know what was happening. We think maybe there was some issues with our Wi-Fi, but we still wanted to get this podcast out for you all to listen to because we think it would be really helpful for anybody who's wanting to go into healthcare who has a limb difference. So I hope you guys enjoy. This definitely won't happen next time. We're going to work on it. So I hope you enjoy this episode.
No, and I just feel like everything's just flowing and we're going to do our giveaway. So stay tuned till the end of the episode. We're going to announce our giveaway winner.
Yes, so exciting. I can't wait for whoever it is to get like the cute little cup. It's going to be like an all-exclusive or not all-exclusive one of a kind, a little limb different cup.
Yes, one of a kind. I mean, it could be, I kind of want one. Like, feel like we should have one before they have one.
I know. They're very lucky.
How has your week been going? I know that you've been sick, but I have seen like your past weeks, you've been like living your life, like having a great time.
Yeah, I think it was last weekend. I was in Chicago. My sister graduated from college, so I got to go to that. And then the next day, my whole family and like Paul, we all went to the White Sox Yankees game. So that was really fun. And we just got to hang out in Chicago and walk around. And it was
I've never
really
been
fun weekend.
to Chicago.
Oh, really?
No. Are you close? Oh, yeah, you said you're close, right?
Yeah, we're like about 2 hours away.
How was the White Sox game?
It was good. We're Yankees fans, so they didn't win. Oh. The Yankees didn't win. So that kind of sucked. But other than that, it was still fun. I still love going to baseball games.
I love baseball and softball. Like, I love playing the game, but I am just like, I don't know. I just don't know how long I can sit through 9 innings. It seems like it takes forever. And there's just so many like hot dogs I can eat like in that time period. And then I'm just sick.
Right. Yeah, I know. I get to like the 7th inning and that's when they do the little song, like the take me out to the ball game.
Oh, yeah.
But then after that, I'm like, okay, I'm ready to go.
I feel so old because I'm like, Zach, we got to beat the traffic. Like, let's go.
Yeah.
And I feel like when I was younger, I was like, Mom, no.
Yeah, I know.
We have to stay till the last minute.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we stay till the last minute, but I mean, we kind of figured that the Yankees were gonna lose, so like as soon as the game was over, we immediately left. So
y'all hit traffic or what?
Okay, so we didn't hit traffic, but we dealt with like a lot of crazy stuff when we were trying to get back to our car. We had to take the subway back, and then we get downtown Chicago, and there's like cops everywhere.
Oh my gosh.
And we had no idea what was going on, so we're just like casually walking, like trying to get to our car, and like they came out and were like, "You can't go this way."
Why?
And we were like, why? Like, we're like, our car's that way. Are we going to be able to get to our car? We're just trying to go home. And they're like, no, that's a crime scene. You cannot go that way.
Oh, no.
And they're like,
y'all Google it and like find out what it was?
Yeah, there was a shooting like by the Bean. Do you know like what the Bean is in Chicago?
No.
It's like a really famous place where a lot of people go and take pictures and stuff. But yeah, like a 16-year-old was shot there, and we were just walking around, had no idea what was going on, and then there was like a riot going on, and we're like, we're just trying to get home.
Oh, wow. Oh my gosh. I know I have heard like downtown Chicago is not the place to be at night.
Yeah, it was a little scary.
Well, that sucks. So like he got shot, like he passed away, like he's
Yeah. I think they took him to one of the local hospitals, but yeah, he was pronounced dead on the scene. So
oh, did they get like did you look into it? I'm like all
yeah, my sister has like this app where she can like see all the Chicago news like as it's happening, and they got the person, so that's good.
Oh, well, yeah, that is good.
Yeah.
Can we talk about, I don't know if you know about this, but like the school shooting?
Yes.
It's so
I'm
sad.
I'm so angry about it.
Oh, I know.
I hate
So
that
many
that
children,
happened.
just innocent kids. Like I absolutely hate it for the parents, and I'm not even a parent, and I just feel for them so hard, and I pray for them, and I don't know what else to say. I have no words.
I know. Every time I see like the pictures of their faces, like I just start tearing up. It's just awful.
I know. And like, I don't know what is going on, but they posted the guy on social media of like who did it. And I guess maybe there's another photo going around. People are like changing it or something, but it's like
Mm.
a guy in like a skirt or something. I don't know.
Mm. Yeah, I
And
haven't seen that.
yeah, and apparently they like put his photo on someone else's body. And so like people are really getting upset on social media that like they're going to find that person, that original person that they just posted his head on, and
Mhm.
they're going to come for that guy. You get what I'm
Jeez.
saying? And I'm like,
Yeah.
that's so dangerous.
I why are people why are they even doing that?
I have no idea. Why don't you like go read a book?
Yeah, seriously.
Like who made that?
Yeah. I don't get it.
I have no idea. But I'm glad you're feeling better. I'm glad went away from that scene.
Yeah. Gosh. Yeah, it was crazy. We'd never seen anything like it, and we're like, "Oh my gosh."
Yeah, it reminds me of like Chicago PD or something.
Yeah, which um I started watching Chicago Med. Have you seen that one?
Yes.
I like it. I'm obsessed.
I I finished it.
Oh, really? Is
It's
it
like
good?
so
Like
many
the whole
seasons.
what?
There's like a whole bunch of seasons,
Mm. Is
right?
it good? Like, yeah, it looks like there's a bunch.
Oh yeah, I think it's pretty good. I mean, sometimes I fast forward through the episodes because it's kind of like the same thing. Like, oh, a person comes in with like trauma and they fix them or they die.
Mhm.
But the storyline's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. So I've been watching that, which got me kind of excited for our topic today.
I know. What is our topic? You want to tell us?
So today we're going to be talking about working in healthcare with a limb difference.
I really resonate with this. I wholeheartedly like am so passionate about talking about this, and I'm sure you are too, because like we both resonate with this and like are still going through it, you know?
Mhm.
So like have you had any like when you were going through college and like applying for nursing and getting into the program, did you have sit downs with like the like director and stuff like that or anything?
So when I first applied to the nursing program, I was so anxious because I'm like, am I going to be able to do this with one hand? And like, I knew I wanted to do it, but I still was just so like, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. And I get into the program. First semester goes great. Like the instructors are just like, if you ever need anything, like don't be afraid to come talk to us. We'll help you in any way we can.
Yeah.
Second semester though, I had an instructor like this was my new instructor. She pulled me to the side and was like, I've never had to deal with a situation like this before. So I'm not sure how you want me to handle this. And I'm like, well, like I'll just if I have any questions or need help, I'll come to you. And so that was that. And from there, we like went on to like clinicals and we were doing like lab. And so we were learning how to do like skills, like basic nursing skills, like flushing an IV and or like hanging up um, a bag. And she like I was showing her how I was doing it, and then she was like, just stop. She's like, it'll just be easier if I do it for you.
Oh.
And I'm like, how am I okay, you can't be there for me as I'm a nurse and do everything for me, you know? Like
Exactly. Yeah.
I have to learn how to do these skills myself with patients. And my instructor has everybody flush their patients' IVs for the first time. Every single student got to do it. And then when it came to my turn and my patient, she was like, Kelsey, I'm going to have this student flush your patient's IV and you can stand to the side and explain the procedure.
What?
Yeah, I'm like, and I was like too afraid to stand up for myself, so I like just let it happen. And the other student, she's just like, I'm sorry.
Aw.
Yeah,
That
and
okay, keep
every
going.
like all the students, all the other like my classmates were like, that's ridiculous, and everyone was just as mad as I was that happened. So I emailed the like head of nursing at my school, and they pretty much did nothing about it. So I just had to deal with her like treating me like crap the rest of the semester. But from there on, my instructors were good. So
So you had one bad apple.
yes.
Okay, that is so rude, and like they didn't do anything about it.
Yeah, like I emailed the director of nursing. She told me to meet with her, so I met with her. I explained everything that was going on, and she pretty much was like, well, just let me know how next clinical goes. And
Okay.
so, yeah, next clinical like just went just as bad. So I told her, I'm like, it didn't get any better. And she just didn't do anything about it after that.
So
That was
like
like
were
it.
there other skills that she was doing the same thing with? Like thing.
She was either having like other students do the skills for me or like she was doing it. Because she
There
just
was never
didn't
like
trust
a
my ability.
discussion.
Huh?
There was never like a discussion like I had a discussion with one of my clinical instructors. They told me, they said, if there's anything you're uncomfortable with, like just let me know and we'll try to work around it or like get through it together.
Mm-hmm.
So was there ever like a discussion like that? Or she was
No.
just like, off the bat like you basically can't do this.
Yeah, she pretty much said things like, this is a safety risk and it would
Oh
just be
my
easier.
god.
Yeah, yeah.
I I want her fired.
Yeah, I did too. She
Like,
and she wasn't just rude to me, like she was rude to everyone. Like every single person in my clinical group cried.
oh my god, I absolutely hate people like that because they take their authority way too far.
Mhm.
Like, you're just a clinical instructor and an RN. Like, I will be a RN when I graduate and like we'll be exactly the same.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, why are you a teacher if you like
Yeah.
this is not what a teacher should do.
I wholeheartedly believe that there are people that are meant to teach and there are people that cannot teach.
Mhm.
I hate
I
to say it,
agree.
but like it's just how it is. But I mean, even us like I know that I don't know about you, but I had a lot of self-doubt going into respiratory school. Like it was just something it was just foreign territory, like it's nothing that I knew. It didn't come easy to me. I had to practice a lot going through school, even just like going to clinicals and like actually working on patients. My self-doubt was so like there and prominent all the time that I was just doubting myself, doubting myself. And it became a time that I I was like, I don't know if I want to do this.
Mhm.
Like it was just coming like skills were becoming harder and harder throughout the semesters and throughout like clinicals. And then definitely getting to like your ICU rotations. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um ventilators and I actually have to as a respiratory therapist, you have to draw blood as well. But you guys, nurses, y'all draw from veins.
Mhm.
And RTs, we draw from arteries.
Mhm.
So doing we call them blood gases, which is like an ABG called the arterial blood gas. And so whenever RT draws a blood gas, it's like a harder stick than a vein. And
Mhm.
I had to practice them over and over and over to get them because I don't have my second hand to be able to palpate the artery and then stick. I have
Mhm.
to literally blind stick most of the time. And it was so hard for me to figure out how to do that because as a respiratory therapist, you're doing arterial blood gases. I mean, you can probably do like 10 a day. like no
Yeah.
joke.
Yeah, definitely.
And like you just don't really want to ask like your other coworkers for help because they're busy too, you know? Like you don't want to take the time from them having to take the time from another patient to come help you. It's just hard. Like you never want to ask for help, but like sometimes you just have to.
Yeah, I know. It kind of sucks that your hospital, like, do they not have phlebotomists?
They do, but they don't draw arteries.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, ours at my hospital they do ABGs.
Oh,
With
really?
yeah, nobody else has to do them but the lab. They come around like because I worked night shift and every morning they'd come around and get everybody's labs and most of all of our patients that were on the ventilator got their ABGs done.
Yeah, everyone on a vent, respiratory has to draw a gas.
Yeah. Yeah, at our hospital it's just the lab. They do it. They do it all.
That is so crazy. I've never ever heard of that because
Yeah.
the hospitals I'm at, RTs draw blood gases and they do A lines.
Yeah, if a patient has an art line, we as the nurses draw off of them. The lab's not allowed to even touch them. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, there's
But did you have to take more time like during clinicals and like in school to like practice your stuff? Because I feel like nursing is a little bit more invasive than RT because you guys are like y'all draw from like central lines, like all kinds of stuff.
Mhm. Yeah, I would like take a friend with me and like go to the lab, like to the sim lab and just like practice my skills as much as I could and like I probably had to practice skills a little bit more than my classmates just because like my instructors didn't know how to really teach me how to do things because like they don't know how to do things with one hand either. And
Right.
so yeah, like the nursing skills themselves are like difficult with two hands. So like I had to teach myself how to do it with one and a half, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, there were some skills that were harder than others, but I just kept practicing like as much as I could. So
I just want to say I'm so sorry you had that for that instructor because I just don't know how I would have gone about it. And I think other girls or boys that have limb differences that are going into healthcare field, they should know about these situations and like kind of how they should be addressed, you know? And you
mhm.
did the correct thing. You went above her and said, you know, this is what's happening and, you know, and that's on her, you know. But I think in that situation, I would just be like, all right, you know what? You're going to do this to me. I'm going to show you I can
Mhm.
literally do this. And I'm
Yeah.
sure that's what you did. I mean, you graduated RN school, like you do it by yourself now, right?
Mhm.
Like, yeah.
I know.
So
I've wanted badly for her to like when I first started nursing to like see me and be like, I'm an ICU nurse, like, and you doubted I could do anything.
oh yeah. I had a clinical instructor and a teacher when I was in respiratory school. They all had doubts me coming in because you have like an orientation before you get into the program. And here I am, my one-handed girl showed up to orientation. They're like, uh, are you in the right spot?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, they told me like when I graduated that they had some doubts about me and like it was hard for them to even like teach me because like you said, they are not used to teaching people like that.
Mhm.
And I think that every school and like every RN, PT, any kind of healthcare person should have a person dedicated to like a disability like specialty. You get what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
you can go to them and be like, "Hey, I'm having this problem in this certain area." Not like with a teacher or anything, but maybe your skill set
Mhm.
and that person can find someone to help you.
Yeah. I
I
know
think
that
that would be amazing.
that would be really nice.
I'm
I
gonna
mean,
write that on my paper so I can make millions, okay?
yes. I mean, any of our listeners who are wanting to go into healthcare, like I do have a video on YouTube where I show a bunch of nursing skills and how I do them. So if that would be helpful for you, you can find it on my YouTube.
Oh yeah, Kelsey does some good stuff. She takes her fiance's blood pressure. She does other things. Definitely look at her YouTube and find anyone else, if I'm sure there's more
Hmm.
on YouTube. You're definitely not alone. So that's what the whole point is, basically.
Yeah.
But so let's talk a little bit about like being at work. So whenever you were working, did how did like your coworkers go about like you working? Did they want to do the work for you? Were they compassionate or were they mean? Like how was it for you?
So for me, I really didn't have any issues with my coworkers. Like, none of them were like doing things for me. And if they were, it wasn't because of my arm, it's because they're just so used to like doing it, like,
Yeah.
um, but for me, like, I was a little more like when I was on orientation, I was like, I had a love hate relationship with orientation because I loved it because like I had somebody there with me. And so, like, if I needed someone, they were right there. But I hated it because, like, when I'm trying to learn these skills and, like, this is new to me, I don't like people watching me, like, especially like because of my arm. Because I'm like, once again, like these skills are a little bit harder, even with
Mhm.
two hands. So like I would get in my head like, oh my God, they probably think, is she gonna be able to do this? And like I would just get anxiety about like them watching me.
Oh yeah, no one loves like another set of eyeballs staring at you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And like I absolutely hate when patient families are in the room because like they really stare you down to see like what are you doing.
Oh yeah, and definitely the ones that are writing everything down.
Yup.
Nothing against them, but I'm just like over here trembling.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have had most of coworkers that I've worked with in the healthcare field have been pretty accepting. Some of them not really because they just think I couldn't really do the job, and then sometimes I do have to ask for help. When I'm trying to pull things apart, like from a ventilator or just anything, I'm not able to grab it with my other hand. And like you can't put that on the patient or like put it somewhere because you don't want to be sterile. There's all kinds of different situations, but like pulling things apart, I have a problem with.
Mm-hmm.
Arterial blood gases, I sometimes have trouble with. I mean, everyone misses a vein, everyone misses an artery, like it happens,
Mm-hmm.
even the lab people. But I do want to talk about something that has been going on with me now. I am traveling at this new hospital, and I have never come into this situation before. And I'm glad that it's happening to me so I can share it with all the listeners because I think you can benefit from it. So, Um, I have this doctor at this new hospital. Okay. I'm a travel therapist. They've never seen me before, never seen a one-armed girl work. Like literally everyone is like so astonished of like what I do. And so I have this doctor, she works in the ER, and we go down to the ER a lot. Sorry, I heard
Oh, you're
something.
fine.
Okay, so we go down to the ER a lot as respiratory therapists. We do ventilators, we intubate them, and this doctor, excuse me, she has questioned my skills more than anyone has the entire time I've worked in healthcare. And it's so infuriating.
What is she saying?
So, it's every time we get into like a code situation or we're intubating a patient, we need like a ventilator. It's like, it's always chaotic, like,
Mm-hmm.
when someone's going bad and they need to intubate really fast. So, as a respiratory therapist, we are airway. Everything in the airway is us, okay? We're intubating, doctors intubating at the head of the bed. We're right beside them, the doctors, and we're bagging them, giving them breaths.
Mm-hmm.
So, you do the seal,
Yeah.
on the patient's face. So I don't have two hands to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I usually do the seal with my right hand, and then I hold the bag up against my body, and so I like push the bag up against my body to give them breaths.
That's what I've done.
Okay, so I'm gonna be honest, I don't give like 110% seal, but like a person is doing compressions on them, so they're literally bouncing up and down. So you never have like 100% like seal on the
Right.
patient's face.
Mhm.
Okay. And this doctor gets in my face, y'all, and is like, "Do we have a good seal? I don't know why you don't have a good seal."
Uh,
And I'm like, I had no words. I didn't even say anything, guys. I didn't even say anything. I was like, what is going on? This doctor needs to be over here intubating and not worrying about my seal.
yeah.
And like these compressions are going. Anyways, I didn't say anything. And then she's intubating now at this time, and I'm holding the tube. I'm about to give it to her, and she intubated, and I inflated the cuff, and then you bag them, to see if you get color change if they're in the correct spot in the lungs.
Mhm.
So I was putting the color changer on the ambu bag, and I didn't do it fast enough. You know what she says?
What?
She says, "Can you do it any slower?"
Oh my gosh.
Yes, yes, girl. I'm red. I'm beet red. My ears are red. I am like freaking out inside.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's right here. Like I have to put it on.
Hmm.
And so then I go upstairs and I'm like venting to my coworkers. So that happens on one day. And then like over a course of a week, it happened over and over again.
That is ridiculous.
And like we were going to a code on their, so they don't keep ambu bags, this hospital, like in their rooms. They're on like
Oh,
the crash cart.
okay.
Yeah, so it's a little weird.
Yeah.
So there was a code called Code Blue, whatever. Everyone's rushing to the room, and on the code cart has the ambu bags. Well, they have an adult ambu bag, a PD ambu bag, and a neo ambu bag.
Hmm.
Well, I pick up the pediatric one. I'm opening it, and she's like, "I need the bag. Can you hurry up?"
Oh my gosh.
She's yelling this out in front of everyone. I mean, when you walk into
That,
a room and there's like 15 people already in there and she's yelling at you specifically,
hmm.
it just like makes my heart drop. Okay. I'm letting it go. I'm letting it go. And well, it ends up being the pediatric bag. And she was like, "You didn't know this was the pediatric bag?" And I
Oh
was
my
like, "No, it was on the same side. Like they shouldn't be on the same side of the crash carts. Like
hmm.
whatever." I just said, "No, I didn't. Here's this one." And so I gave her the regular adult bag or whatever. And that was one time. And then the next time we were intubating a patient again, and she asked me, she's like, "Do you need help doing your job?"
Oh my God.
At
I
that
don't
point
know
in
how you were
time,
able to like keep going. Like I would have been so like I couldn't do it.
I don't even know how I kept going, but I was just like so hot. Because I'm a travel therapist, I'm new, like whatever. I was taking it. I was just taking it, whatever.
Hmm.
But it became a point in time that I was like, you know what? This is enough.
Yeah.
This is so unprofessional. She needs to talk. She needs a talking to. So I didn't even have to speak to my manager at this time. Um, the nurses brought it up to their
Mm.
director. Yes. Like people around me were noticing how she was treating me.
Yeah.
And I know that I probably should have spoken up, but like you said, it's so hard with like chain of command and like,
Right.
it's hard and I get it. But luckily, those nurses went to their director, and their director came and talked to me and apologized and said that that doctor is getting a talking to and it's disrespectful and should never happen.
That's good that like they're doing something about that.
Yes. And I'm so happy that that happened because I just wanted to share that with you all because there are going to be people out there that just doubt you wholeheartedly. And I am sorry that we have to deal with it, but I just dealt with it and it sucks.
Hmm. I
It
couldn't
is
imagine.
horrible being talked to that way, thinking that you can't do your job, questioning your job. Like, oh, it was so infuriating.
Gosh, yeah, and especially, like, in a code situation where it's already stressful.
Exactly.
Yeah, I would've probably cried.
I was texting my husband. I called it my bad days like you did.
Mhm.
I was like, "Babe, I'm having a bad day." And I told him about it and he was like, "It's okay. Like, you know what you're doing." And like he gave me such a like comfortability and I was like, "You know what? You're right. Like,
Mhm.
I shouldn't be worrying about her. I need to worry about the patient." But like it's so hard because this doctor just has this little bit of power and is blurting these out in front of everyone.
Yeah, that's just not okay.
And I was just so red. I was sweating so hard. I was like, "Get me out of this room."
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, at least other people saw it too and were like, "That's not okay," and said something about it.
Yes. And whenever the director came and talked to me, I kind of spilled it all out and it felt so good. So I think learn from my mistake of not bringing it up first. So
Yeah.
it should always be brought up.
Yeah. And I know it's hard to bring things like that up, but, like, you gotta do what's best for you.
Yeah, 100%. And I know it's embarrassing because I was embarrassed. Like, I didn't want to tattletale, like, whatever. Like, I can handle myself. No, there becomes a point where, like, she's crossing the line. Like, you don't talk to people that way. And I have to say, you don't talk to people that have disabilities that way because somebody will take it totally differently,
Yeah.
you know?
Mhm. Yeah, that was crazy.
It was crazy. And I'm so glad, and now, like, I go down to the ER, and I just feel so weird still, but she's like, "Thank you, baby. Thank you,
Oh,
hun."
wow, so she's being nice now?
Mhm. I'll take the fake smile. "Hi."
Yeah. Yeah.
As long as you're not yelling at me in front of 15 people.
Yeah. My gosh. Yeah, you're pretty brave because I don't know if I'd be able to go back if that happened, like, several times.
Oh, yeah, it was several times literally within, like, a week, like, because you
Yeah.
work your 312s,
Mhm.
and so I worked my 312s. It happened every single day I went to work, and yeah, but
Dang.
luckily, it's over with now, but I really was, like, wanting to share that with you all, like, so bad. I was, like, waiting for the podcast.
Yeah. Wow. I I've never had a situation like that with a doctor. Um, I find doctors very intimidating still. Like, I know I tell myself, I'm like, they're literally just people like me. Like,
Yeah.
but still there's something like intimidating, like when they're giving orders and like and I'm like a new nurse and I don't want to sound dumb in front of them and like, so that was really I mean, whenever I had to do things, like sometimes I would have to assist the doctors, like when they're setting up like an art line or essential line, and they have to be sterile.
Yeah.
And sterile technique is a little hard for me
Oh,
because,
yeah.
yeah, like I can put on sterile gloves, I can do that, but like I grab things with my arm, and so like it touches my skin and or like when I open packages, I like put it up to my abdomen, like my body to open it up. Um so I never could really keep anything sterile. So anytime I was assisting them, I was always like my heart was racing. I'm like I don't want to mess this up. I don't want to make them upset like cuz I'm taking too long or whatever, but
Oh, I know. I feel you 100%, Kelsey. Oh my gosh, because, like, they were the other day, they were doing, like, a central line, and he wanted the sterile, like, flushes, and they were in, like, the sterile bag. And so
mm,
I felt like a child because, like, I was holding it with my right hand, and I was trying to I don't have my left hand to get it out. So I'm
yeah.
literally shaking it like a child, like,
Yeah.
like, trying to get it to come out of this package, and I'm like, "My ears are hot, I'm
Yeah.
sweating."
Yes, I know the feeling.
Do you ever have, like, reactions from, like, patients? Like, are they ever, like, judging you, or, like, what do they say to you whenever you're doing stuff?
So that was always another like fear that I had that like my biggest fear still is that I'll have a patient say like I don't want you to be my nurse. Like, I don't want a one-handed nurse. I don't trust you or whatever.
Yeah.
But luckily I have never had a patient say anything like that. All of my patients have been like super nice about it. Like, sometimes they'll want to talk about it, like what happened, and then they'll say like, well, you're doing an awesome job. And so like most of the time it's people saying really nice things, like saying, well, like, you're an amazing nurse, like you're doing just fine without another hand. And so that's been good. Like, but I feel like one day there will be that patient.
I haven't had that either, but that's crazy you say that because I actually have felt that before too, that they'd be like, this person is not competent, like can't do her job correctly, you know. But I haven't had anyone be mean about that as like a patient or like a patient's family. Yeah, I've only really gotten compliments and like weird like things they say.
Yeah. 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 Like, I've gotten the whole like, good for you working, like, like kind of like babying me.
Oh yeah, I've gotten the clap. Have you gotten the clap?
Yes. Oh gosh.
It's always so funny. Whenever a patient is like being discharged or something, I'm like, good, I didn't want to see you anyway. That's like my slogan.
Yeah.
Like laugh about it. And it's just so funny because I'm like, no, for real.
For real. But I also like the patients that like they can kind of relate. Like, I've had patients, like one had a stroke and like wasn't able to move the right side of her body, and like she said like seeing me really inspired her and like made her feel like she can keep going. And so stuff like that, like,
Yeah, whenever
really,
it's like close to home and like they're gonna have to relearn to like move these limbs and stuff like that, and they see us, it gives them so much hope. And I love that because I can tell you that I've seen a patient in the morning and then like it'll be the first time they've seen me and they have to, go through physical therapy and stuff like that to regain like motion and stuff like that from like a limb.
hmm
And like throughout the day, they just seem happier. You ever have that?
yeah. Yeah, it's that things like that are really nice and rewarding and like make me realize like I'm really glad I got into this field.
Yeah, that helped. That makes me so happy too. I had an incident, not an incident, but I had a thing. It will stay with me for a really long time. This girl was a nurse and she was having pneumothoraxes like constantly, and she didn't know why.
Mm-hmm.
And for you listeners, a pneumothorax is just like a hole in your lung. And so she has to go to the hospital and, you know, get stuff for it. And so they found out she has Lamb disease, LAM, I believe.
What's that? Do you know?
It's super, super rare and like it causes like something within the lungs. I haven't researched it and there's not much research about it, but she was young and she was an RN and medical field people are the worst patients.
Yeah.
She was Googling everything and she had just gotten married and I came in to do her breathing treatment and she was just like, you give me so much hope. And I was like, thank you so much. And we just started talking and I sat with her on her bed and we talked about like what she was going through and what happened and everything. And I said, you know what? It doesn't matter. And she's like, I don't want to go home on oxygen. I don't want this life. And I explained to her, like, you got to find your people. Like, there is not just one of you. Like, find your people with your Facebook groups. You find other friends that are going through the same thing. And you're going to hit it head on. Like, you're going to be okay. And she got discharged and I added her on social media, like the only patient I've ever added.
Yeah.
Added her on social media and she has pushed through it and she does like foundation work and she is not on any oxygen. She's living her best life. And that like touched me wholeheartedly because just, she was like, you really saved me. Like you helped me through the most toughest time.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome.
Okay, so let's announce our giveaway.
Oh, yes, yes. Exciting.
All right. We did a little like spin thing on the internet, you know, to choose our winner. And our winner we are announcing is Monica Shea. So,
Woohoo.
congratulations,
Yay.
Monica Shea. You are going to be receiving our little basket of your personalized and one and only
Yeah.
Lim Different cup monogrammed. And we will be reaching out to you on Instagram. We'll tag you and then figure out your size for your made worthy sweatshirt. And you get to choose from either design and we will send it to you.
Yep. And then we'll send over the cup as well.
Yes, it'll all be together.
Yep.
All right. At the end, we always want to do like a listener question because we always get so many good ones. We chose this listener asked how to wash the dishes with one hand. I lost my hand 4 months ago.
Okay. It's a good question.
Okay, I absolutely hate dishes.
Me too.
So it's hilarious because I sound like I'm breaking things in the sink. I'm like click clack click clack click clack because I can't hold it down.
Mhm. Yeah, I have that issue too. Like, I guess I would say the best way to do it is to like sit it on the counter and wash it so that you can at least have it like stable on something, so that makes it a little bit easier to wash. Like I hold the plate, like if it's a plate, I hold the plate down with my arm and then like wash with my hand kind of thing.
Yeah. I don't know if you're like what you're missing, like if it's like all the way up or it's like below your elbow.
Mm.
But for me as well, I put a towel down, okay? Towel down on top of the counter, and then I put the dish on the towel and I clean it.
Yeah.
Because in the sink, you have to like extend down there and we don't have like another hand to like hold it down there. So it's like breaking in the sink and it's so loud.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so much easier just to have it up closer to you.
I don't know what to say, man. Maybe use a dishwasher.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
But if you don't have a dishwasher, just the best you can, hold it down, put it on top of your counter, and just try not to break it, but just do it like that.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's probably the easiest way to do it. So,
So, on that note, guys, we are going to head out. We have, things to do, right?
yeah, super busy.
Okay, make sure you are following our Instagram, A Little Limb Different podcast, and make sure you subscribe to our podcast on Apple and on Spotify. So follow us. You'll get great giveaways. You'll be able to listen to amazing stories, and peace out.
Yeah. And just want to say if there's anybody out there listening who is interested in being a healthcare worker, like definitely send us a message and we'll try and, help you any way we can.
Yeah.
But until next time, see ya.
Bye.